how you doing today? My name is Pastor Reginald McConneaughey, pastor of God's Tabernacle for Believers in Rockwell, North Carolina.
What has been one thing that has caught you by surprise coming from the pulpit to the classroom?
One thing that caught me by surprise coming from the pulpit to the classroom is the lack of respect from some of the children, how they talk to grown-ups and even how they talk to their children and even how they treat one another.
What has been one of the greatest misconceptions you have found between our community and the schools?
One of the misconceptions I have found since I've been there between the community and the schools is the lack of support as far as trying to help the schools do certain things, put on certain activities and things like that to help the children respond to life in a better way.
Do you feel that you are making an impact, and how do you know?
The impact that I feel that I'm making in the school system since I've been there is being able to identify some of the problems that the children have and to try to lead them in a positive direction and helping them with some of the things that they have to cope with every day. So I do feel like I'm making an impact because I feel that maybe sometimes they're not getting the love and the attention that they need.
What can we all do to bridge home and school closer together to help each student maximize their success?
I believe that one thing that will help this school to bridge over into the community is that we have more meetings with the parents, finding out some of the things that they are doing at home, their surroundings in their community, in the area that they live. It may be a bad environment that we may can kind of help them in areas to not to get involved in things that are not good for them in their life. And I think that will help maximize their life.
Final thoughts.
One of my final thoughts here would be one of my favorite scriptures is coming out of the book of Proverbs 22:6, where it talks about if we train up a child the way he should go, that he will not depart. And one thing we have to understand that parents must remember as they teach and discipline their children, this is a duty of us as parents to start our children on the right path of life. And when they're old, they will not be able to depart from the training we give them. We have to understand there are two paths. There's a path of righteousness and wisdom that leads to life, and there's a path of wickedness and foolishness that leads to death. And parents can only start a child in the right direction. Parents must start their training the earliest parts of their years. We have to initiate the things in their life while they're children. It's kind of hard to start when they're 13 and 14 years old. By that time, sometimes we have already lost them. Parents are responsible to start their children towards the path of righteousness at a young age. And each child must choose whether or not they decide to follow the path that we have chosen for them. But we have to understand that we have to teach them in a godly way. Godly parents will use godly principles to teach their children. But they cannot get away from it entirely once they learn this, because what we have to understand is when we teach a child something at a young age, it's going to come back to them, whether or not they choose to walk down that path or not. But as they get older, eventually they will veer back to the right path. And we just pray that they will veer back to the right path before sin and destruction will take their life totally.
Thank you for taking the time to preview today's episode, From the Pulpit to the Classroom. We ask that everyone that has any interest in education to be involved, be engaged, be committed. I Teach 365.